What is going on, YouTube? It is your girl Ray, and welcome back. On today's video, we are going to be watching something very disturbing, and I had to watch it with the Ray's World gang because I love when we give our analysis on things and break things down together, watch these things together. I mean, we're a family now, so like, who would I be to watch it without y'all? With that being said, big ups and shout out to the Ray's World gang. I see y'all, a nice salute, road to 500. I'm super excited for anybody that's watching and joining. Sorry y'all, I'm still a little under weather, you feel me? I mean, same outfit from the last video, so it would be the same day. Why would I have said that then? Don't mind me, y'all, don't mind me, okay? It's the medicine. But yes, we are getting very close to 500. I am super excited. I'm loving this journey with y'all, and we're gonna get into some nice, good, spicy, scary, dangerous, all types of videos. Okay, 2024 and 2025 is ours. Okay, ours. Put a stamp on that. But this video is brought to you by They Will Kill You. They are the original content creators and uploaders of this video, so shout out to y'all. The title of this video is the 15 worst new cases from last week. Now, I don't know if this video is aged a little bit. Well, it probably is, but still, we're gonna watch them and see what's going on. I don't know why people in real life is starting to become more creepy than characters we created. Like, I don't know, Freddy Krueger. Like, at this point, just let me go to sleep and take my chances, because it just seemed like walking amongst these people every day, it's just getting real dangerous. That's why I'm happy y'all live in Texas, because we can have that fire. But all jokes aside, let's get into the video. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it.
Two people were killed and at least 6 others were injured during a Halloween celebration in downtown Orlando when a teenager opened fire on the crowd. An estimated 50,000 to 100,000 people were partaking in the festivities when the incident occurred. Surveillance footage appears to show Jalen Dwayne Edgar shooting a handgun as terrified civilians run for cover. Moments later, a quick-thinking police officer sprang into action and knocked Edgar's gun out of his hand before tackling him to the ground. 2 mortally wounded men aged 19 and 25 died at the scene, while the others, ranging in age from 19 to 39 years old, were taken to the hospital in stable condition. In addition to those who were injured by the gunfire, a woman was trampled by the dispersing crowd. While a motive is yet to be revealed, Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith alluded to the possibility that Edgar began shooting after spotting someone he had a beef with. He's currently refusing to speak with investigators and is facing 2 first-degree murder charges, although it's unclear whether he'll be prosecuted as an adult. Number 14.
My thing is, I know it's early in the video, but like, what gives somebody the right to feel like they could take somebody's life? Like, please let me know in the comments. Like, why do people, this is demonic for sure. This is going to be 15 most demonic cases from last week. That's what we're going to do, because
Darren Christopher Abbey. In what initially appeared to be the gruesome aftermath of a bear attack, 35-year-old Dustin Mitchell Kajerson was found dead at his campsite near Big Sky, Montana. His girlfriend assumed a wild animal had killed him based on the horrifying condition of his remains, but investigators found no evidence of any bears in the area. An autopsy revealed that Kajerson had been bludgeoned with wood, stabbed with a screwdriver, and hacked with an axe. DNA evidence on a beer can at the campsite turned up as a match to 41-year-old Darren Christopher Abbey, who was in custody on unrelated charges when the test results came in. Abbey confessed to killing Kajerson, claiming he acted in self-defense. The men have no known prior connections, leading law enforcement to believe that the murder was random and unprovoked. Evidence also showed that Abbey went to great lengths to clean the crime scene and even attempted to make it look like a bear killed Kajerson, making his self-defense claim seem questionable. He remains in custody, with bail set at $1.5 million. Number 13.
To ask somebody after you killed them, because I'm assuming that that's why, because he was staging it. Unless you ask them during the murder, like he was, I can't even fathom or think about it. That's inhumane to want to do that. Demonic, like I said. Let's see what 13 is.
Luis Mendoza and Bird Charlesworth. Denver Broncos wide receiver Josh Reynolds was shot while leaving the legendary Shotgun Willie's Gentlemen's Club in Glendale, Colorado during the early morning hours. The 29-year-old NFL star and two friends noticed that several cars were following their SUV as they drove away from the establishment. Moments later, bullets began to fly, striking Reynolds in the head and arm. One of the vehicle's other occupants was shot in the back, while the third victim was injured by broken glass. The victims, who all survived, reportedly told police that they had experienced no issues with other clubgoers. Suspects Bird Charlesworth and Luis Mendoza are each facing 6 counts of attempted murder, 6 counts of first-degree assault, and 3 counts of illegal discharge of a firearm. Charlesworth told police that he had been enlisted to track the victims by someone who'd had a previous conflict with them. He denied being the actual shooter and is currently free on $100,000 bail, while Mendoza remains jailed with bail set at $300,000. Number 12. Flash floods in Spain.
And I hope that don't have nothing to do with fan. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm hoping that that wasn't fan driven. Your team lost, you feeling some type of way, you follow them down. I can see somebody doing that type of stuff. Y'all got to be careful out here. They can't even have regular lives. I can't even talk. Regular lives. They can't have regular lives because people do stuff like this. Like haters, and demonic.
Spain. More than 200 people perished in Spain's eastern Valencia region amid heavy downpours and unprecedented flash flooding. Unaware that the storms had caused riverbanks to overflow, civilians were going about their daily lives when they got caught in the deluge of floodwater, which wiped away everything in its path. By the time people received emergency weather warnings on their cell phones, warning them to stay at home, they were already out and in the flood's path. Cars and debris were washed away by the torrent, stranding drivers and leaving streets and homes covered in thick layers of mud. Vehicles were overturned and washed into piles, and many people drowned. The flooding was caused by a storm system which passed over the region and dumped rain. In the most hard-hit area, it rained more in 8 hours than in the 20 preceding months. Efforts to rescue, recover, and rebuild are ongoing, with many criticizing the government's response to the disaster and saying they feel abandoned by the country's leadership. Number 11. Minely Zoe Rodriguez Ramirez. 25-year-old TikToker Minely Zoe Rodriguez Ramirez was reported missing by her family after she was last seen at a Walmart in Cornelius, Georgia, where she planned to meet an acquaintance to exchange a photo. Her fiancé, Julio Tavor, didn't understand the last text message he received from the young woman, which stated, "I am waiting for the brother to pick him up." Tavor told local news outlet Now Habasham News that the message didn't make sense, adding, "She didn't talk like that." Rodriguez Ramirez's car was found abandoned 5 miles from the Walmart, along with her wallet and one of her shoes. A week after she vanished, her murdered remains were found near the store. Investigators connected the crime to 24-year-old Angel de Jesus Rivera Sanchez, who is currently in custody on suspicion of kidnapping and murder. It's unclear whether he was the person Rodriguez Ramirez intended to meet at Walmart, and authorities have yet to announce a cause of death or motive for the crime. Number 10.
Terrible.
Helmut Lochner. An elderly Florida woman was watching TV at home in Ocala, Florida, when her 93-year-old husband, Helmut Lochner, snuck up behind her and tried strangling her to death with a rope. She managed to escape and ran to the couple's patio before dialing 911. Lochner reportedly confessed to the attempted murder, telling deputies that he was dying and didn't want to leave his wife of 60 years alone. His wife revealed that this was the second time Lochner had tried.
So you strangled her? Tried to? Oh, you going to a home immediately. Immediately. You are not staying in the home with me. You're going to one, but not staying in this one. Know that. Sir, what are you doing? Why would you? Wow. And she said this is not the first time he tried to. If you don't, boy, man, sir, demon, bye.
To kill her over a 2-week period. The first time he attempted to smother his wife with a pillow, and she didn't report the incident because she trusted that he wouldn't try to hurt her again. It's unclear whether Lochner believes himself to be dying of old age or if he's suffering a terminal illness. He's facing 2 attempted first-degree premeditated murder charges and is currently being held without bond at the Marion County Jail. It's an unusual case, even for Florida.
Why they even give him that? Exactly. It's an unusual amount of time. He's dying. Give him that amount of time and call it a day. Because he's just hold him until he passes. He's dying. Why do y'all got him in there for 6 years? He ain't gonna make. He already looked like he about 85. He not making it. He's not.
With Sheriff's spokesperson Zach Moore saying it's the first time he's encountered a situation of its kind in more than 5 years on the job. Number 9. Danielle Dauphinais. A New Hampshire mother was sentenced to heavy prison time after pleading guilty to the death of her son, who vanished without explanation 3 years earlier. Investigators realized Elijah Lewis was missing after his parents, Danielle Dauphinais and Joseph Stapf, gave up their drug-addicted newborn to state care. Evidence at the couple's home indicated that Lewis was no longer living there and had met with foul play. His remains were found buried on parkland in Massachusetts about a month later. An autopsy determined that he had been abused, neglected, and overdosed with drugs, leading to charges against both Dauphinais and Stapf. While the evidence showed that both parents participated in the abuse, Stapf received lighter consequences in the form of a 22 to 45-year prison sentence for manslaughter. Dauphinais pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and witness tampering and was sentenced to 53 years to life in prison.
Did you see how cute that little baby's face was? Let me see if I can go ahead and go back. Let me see if I can.
And witness tampering and was sentenced to 53 years to life in prison.
Look at that angel. I hope they beat the... God, don't listen to me right now. Don't listen to what I'm saying right now, okay? But before you give yourself to God, I hope they make your stay very unpleasant. Why do they do this to children? Like, you deserve to get the brakes beat off you. I'm sorry. I don't condone violence. But when it comes to children, it really bothers me because they can't defend themselves. Like, if I ever was around any friend, family member that I thought was doing too much, I'm rolling these up and we about to fight. I'm going to beat you up behind your child. I'm not playing. Like, where's these people don't be having like close relatives or anything, or like people, trashy family members where they just like, they will never hurt their child. They loved him. While you only see them like 3, 4, 5 times a year. You don't even call them on birthdays, holidays, or nothing. And the only time they ever try to speak to you really is when they're asking you for money. So you don't want to be bothered with them. Shut up. There's just be making me. I be seeing so many cases that are like that in the family. Whole family is dysfunctional. Like, give the child up if that's the case. Call and let them know that you feel like you are unfit. You have a drug habit and addiction, and give the child away. Let the child have a chance to be placed inside of a home, a loving, caring home. And I'm saying, like, you could do this at birth. You could sign over your rights when you are pregnant. I used to work in a hospital, so you can let them know, like, they ask you, are you keeping or you want to give the child up for adoption? They'll let you know that while you're pregnant. You can make that decision. So, like, why would you do that? Why would you rid him of a wonderful life because you're a terrible person? I'm over here shaking the camera, y'all, because it's making me mad. I wish I was shaking her. I can't shake the dude. It's a male. I'm gonna have to get something to shake him with. Let me stop, God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pray over tonight because I mean every word that I'm saying when it comes to these children. I do not like that, dude. Eye for an eye. I hope they. I'll be waiting for you because they tell them who's gonna be child molesters that come in, child killers and stuff like that. Don't nobody care about no remorse. You did it for your man or whatever the case may be. Give them what they needed up in there. Don't kill them now. But break something. If you let me stop. I'm gonna just go past it because I don't have anything nice to say. I can't be positive seeing this. See, I gotta stop leaving looking at the kid because it's just really making me mad. I gotta laugh over the anger. I have to. But this is not a laughing matter whatsoever.
Number 8, Monica Mosley. while responding to reports of someone kicking in the front door of a Bridgeton, New Jersey home. Police found 51-year-old Monica Mosley dead from multiple gunshot wounds. The murder came as a complete shock to those who knew the victim, who worked as a detective sergeant for the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office. 29-year-old Nyshawn Mutchison, 31-year-old Jared Brown, and 32-year-old Richard B. Hawkins Willis are all facing murder and burglary charges, while 38-year-old Cynthia E. Pimentel is accused of hindering the investigation by hiding a car and destroying evidence. Shortly after the murder, Mutchison went to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the chest. He claimed he was wounded in a separate shooting, but prosecutors believe Mosley shot him while defending herself against the intruders. It's unclear whether the home invasion was random or if Mosley was targeted due to her job or for some other reason. All 4 suspects are currently in jail with a bond hearing scheduled for the second week of November. Number 7. Cleotha Abston. The killer of a billionaire heiress who was murdered during a jog 2 years ago has unexpectedly owned up to his crime. 40-year-old Cleotha Abston pleaded guilty to bludgeoning and shooting 34-year-old schoolteacher Eliza Fletcher just days before he was scheduled to go to trial in a Memphis, Tennessee courtroom. Fletcher vanished after leaving her home for her daily early morning run, initially sparking suspicions that someone had kidnapped her and was holding her for ransom due to her family's wealth. A slain corpse was found several days later in a wooded area outside the city. She had been shot in the back of the head execution style and had suffered blunt force trauma injuries. By then, Abston had already been identified as the suspected killer and was in custody. He was linked to the crime through DNA and surveillance footage, which showed him meticulously cleaning his SUV. Following his guilty plea, the judge immediately sentenced him to life in prison without the chance of parole. Number 6. Michael Allen Stowers. 35-year-old expectant mother Tamara Alexis Stowers was found shot to death in the bedroom of her St. Paul, Minnesota apartment after her estranged husband, a convicted murderer, was granted a court-approved visit to go see her. Stowers was 2 months pregnant at the time of her death. Her killer, 36-year-old Michael Allen Stowers, had been paroled to a halfway house 7 months earlier after serving time for a 2008 murder. He was on work release and had been granted a pass to visit Stowers even though they were in the process of divorcing. After killing the victim, the suspect shot a man in a femur and stole his car. Stowers then called the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office and confessed to the murder, but failed to turn himself in as promised. He's been charged with 2 counts each of second-degree murder, carjacking, and assault with a dangerous weapon, but remains on the run.
People that just be in their mugshot smiling, something is wrong with you. Demonic. I told y'all, all of these is demonic. I need y'all to know that. All of these, the thoughts that go in your head start going real dark. That's why you need Jesus. Because without Jesus, anything can control you. Anything can control you. So for him to even do this, killing his pregnant wife, sir, what is going on? Like, look how he's very pleased in his actions. You need a beat down as well. You do. You and the guy before. Y'all both. Beat down.
Amid an ongoing manhunt. Number 5. Nicholas Wayne Hamlet. A nationwide manhunt is on for a Tennessee parolee who stands accused of murdering a hiker in Hamilton County. According to authorities, 45-year-old Nicholas Wayne Hamlet called 911 posing as a man named Brandon Andrade, claiming a bear had chased him off a cliff. Upon arriving at the scene, police found a corpse at the bottom of a cliff with Andrade's ID lying nearby, but the body does not belong to Andrade and remains unidentified, leading investigators to believe that Hamlet stole Andrade's identity and then tried to stage his own death. While being questioned about the 911 call, he gave police a different alias. He fled town before law enforcement figured out his real name, and he remains on the run while multiple agencies work to track him down. Hamlet has ties all over the country, including in Alabama, Tennessee, Montana, Kentucky, Florida, and Alaska. His alleged reason for attempting to stage his death remains unclear, and anyone who sees him is advised to immediately dial 911 and to not approach him. Number 4. Adrian Cosby. A convicted killer lunged at his victim's family in a Florida courtroom after being found guilty of murdering a teen girl over a pair of Yeezy sneakers. The dramatic scene unfolded 4 years after 23-year-old Adrian Cosby shot an 18-year-old Miami-Dade high school senior named Andrea Camps Laseo. The victim's father, Anthony Camps, was delivering a powerful victim impact statement directed at his daughter's killer, calling Cosby a monster and an animal who belongs in prison for life. Seated just feet away, Cosby stood up and began hurling profanities at Camps. Court officers intervened as he tried advancing toward Camps and led him out of the courtroom as he continued to spew expletives. At the same time, several of Camps Laseo's relatives had to be restrained and were also removed from the courtroom. 20 minutes later, Cosby was brought back into the courtroom and sentenced to 2 life terms without parole, along with a concurrent 25-year sentence for attempted robbery. Number 3. Worcester Rancy. 23-year-old U.S. Army Sergeant Sarah Roque was reported missing after she failed to report for duty at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. 3 days into a massive search of the base, her murdered body was found in a dumpster near barracks for single soldiers. Originally from Ligonia, Indiana, Roque had received several medals and ribbons during her 4-year military career. Investigators traced her homicide to fellow soldier specialist Worcester Rancy, a 21-year-old combat engineer who joined the Army 2 years prior to the murder. Rancy is currently in pre-trial confinement on murder and obstruction charges. The circumstances leading up to the crime and the cause of Roque's death have yet to be revealed. Number 2.
You are a whole you're supposed to be the person that people look up to. And you're doing this, like, don't put nothing past nobody, y'all. Anybody can do this, can be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Anybody. Y'all need to watch the ID channel more. I'm telling you, make you not even want to trust the person next to you. Start looking at them all like, you got to pay attention, have discernment. When you have discernment, you can spot this stuff. Because no, that's just so sad. Like, these are terrible. These are terrible. I don't even know why I just chuckle. It's just like I did that because it's just not that I need to explain myself, but I don't want anybody to take it in a way like I think this is funny. But it's just unbelievable. Like, these things happen. Like, these things are people that you may walk by in the grocery store. Somebody you might run into, an old family member. Like, there's a couple of people that I knew from way back that did crazy and heinous things, and people that stuff happened to them. So, like, y'all just please be safe. Please be safe.
Chianti Means. A single mother and her 2 children are dead after plunging over Niagara Falls in plain view of tourists on what was otherwise an ordinary Monday evening. 33-year-old Chianti Means climbed over a guardrail with her son, Roman Rossman, and her daughter, Mecca Means, before taking what was later described by witnesses as a seemingly deliberate 200-foot leap of faith. In the months leading up to the unspeakable tragedy, Chianti had expressed sadness over her breakup with Mecca's father. She blamed herself in one post, saying she acted moody during her pregnancy. While the case remains under investigation, it appears as though Chianti's despair eventually became too much for her to handle, causing her to make a regrettable decision that can't be taken back. Number 1. Tekashi 6ix9ine. Brooklyn-born rapper Daniel Hernandez, better known as Tekashi 6ix9ine, is back behind bars on a slew of alleged federal probation violations. The decision to throw him in jail came after he showed up an hour late to a scheduled court hearing, infuriating the judge. Hernandez was serving 5 years of probation for racketeering, gun and drug trafficking charges following his release from prison in 2020. He was just 6 months away from completing his supervision when he tested positive for methamphetamine twice in 2 weeks and failed to show for a third drug test. The rapper also traveled to Las Vegas without permission and has been in trouble with the law numerous times over the last 4 years, including a recent arrest in Florida for driving 136 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. He's also been accused of hitting his girlfriend, Yalin Lemas Viral, and assaulting 2 record producers in the Dominican Republic. Apparently fed up with his repeat offending, the judge ordered Hernandez to stay in jail until his next hearing in mid-November, when the parties involved in the case will discuss whether or not he should be released.
Y'all, I had no idea anything was still going on with Tekashi. His name has been not said or heard in a very long time. So, like, sir, I don't even know if you just doing stuff just to get back in the limelight, or like this is just your life is just chaotic. But get it together, bro. Like, I don't understand. And all the people, oh man, all the people before, my condolences to y'all family. I hope all of y'all made it to heaven. Hopefully your family can see you guys again in a peaceful land, because people are so disturbing. I'm shocked. I'm lost for words. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments. It was just a lot of tragedy, I feel like, just from the beginning. The kid that was a teenager just shooting into a crowd and people lost their lives. Like, you can't even go places with your family and have like a good time without somebody being crazy. But if you do like this video and watch up to this point, be sure to thumbs up in the chat, hit your post notifications so you can know what's going on in Ray's world, and like, comment, and subscribe so that this video can get to the algorithm. Okay. Be sure to spread love, and don't be following behind nobody unless you following Jesus. Okay. Peace, love, and respect, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I don't know what that pause is about. I'm just so distraught. My face is so itchy because of my allergies right now. Like, I was trying so hard not to gouge my face out in front of y'all. Y'all might think something wrong with me, or I'm on that stuff. But I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'm out. Peace and love.